What's up, everybody? Mark Hicks here with the GXP Podcast. This is episode 5, Halloween edition. Whoop, whoop. Anyway, I'm going to introduce everybody. All the way to my right, we got Maverick Graham, the Chocolate Thunder from Down Under. Mm-hmm. Your brother got it right this time.
You guys might get to see my Halloweenie today. Oh. Probably not, though. I can't really go close to elementary schools anymore.
Right next to him, we got Oliver Terrata, the Boo-Thang.
What's up?
And, of course, we got, as always, the beautiful Meagan Orzel.
I don't have a nickname.
Why don't I get beautiful?
She's the beautiful Meagan Orzel. That's her nickname.
You're chocolate.
But anyway, we're going to talk about Halloween games, and I'm going to pass it over to Meagan and let her do her thing.
So we were thinking it'd be fun to give you guys a list, with it being October, our first October edition of GXP, to list off. Right? We have our cool little pumpkin with our logo. Cute. It's cute. It's cute. It's super cute. But list off 10 or so games that we think you should check out in October. And if you have already played them, that's great. Play them again. If you haven't played them yet, you definitely should. So we're going to start out and talk about OutLast. Did anyone want to start? Maverick,
you're so quiet.
OutLast is, I mean, if you guys don't really know what it is, it kind of takes from the Amnesia style game where what happens is that, you guys mind if I lick this? So it's one of those like defenseless, like you see bad guy, you hide from bad guy. You can't really fight bad guy. There's lots of penis in that game as well. If you're interested in that, there's if you want a game where you see lots of dick.
If you're really into it, there's some cool like mutant on mutant butt stuff. There's one that puts the thing in the butt of a dead mutant.
In the DLC, partial spoiler alert, there's a...
Flash that on the screen.
There's some serious loss of dick as well.
Was it? I never played the DLC. Was it worth
the Whistleblower? I really enjoyed the Whistleblower DLC.
Really? Better than... The way that main game ended, I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. The way the game ended, it was rough. What was cool about Whistleblower was that it tied into... it still wasn't the ending. I mean, it was cool, but it still tied into the actual one, and you didn't really realize it till the end. You're like, oh shit, like this is all happening now. Like once you've actually, if you've already played the regular game, and you start seeing shit happen, you're like, oh my god, I remember this. Like holy shit, it's about to go down right now. It was cool. There was some fucked up shit in that DLC. Like that DLC, like there was. It was some raunchy, like nasty shit that happened in that. like that was a weird you get to this point in that DLC where you're like, oh my god, like
maybe I need to stop.
Like he's trying to marry me, and no, I don't want to spoiler it.
Puts the lotion on the skin of
you know what? It's been like what 2 years since that game came out. Just spoil it.
Spoiler alert. So the dude essentially, like, you get a little bit, like about halfway through the DLC, and you find this dude who. He's trying to find a wife. He's trying to find a wife. And since most of the people that run through there are guys, he's trying to make a wife. So his version of finding a wife, he tries to catch guys. He has his whole like altar and everything set up for a reception. It's beautiful. And he basically just cuts their dicks off and tries to, give them babies. When it doesn't work, he just skins them and strings them up in this fucking room. So there's this room of like strung up body, like it's a
all dickless strung up bodies.
Just a bunch of like the first time you come across him, you find this body that's in this compromising fucking position, and he's got a fucking buzzsaw, and he's just jamming it up there to make a vagina, and it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up.
We need to let all of our viewers know that this is a very, very raunchy episode.
Like it's crazy, but it also definitely makes it a little more tense because you see that happen before you actually like come up against the guy.
Yeah,
and then once he starts trying to catch you, you're like, holy shit. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. I would really like to not get caught.
I was like, I don't want that to happen. And then he catches you. So essentially, you're looking at like this. This is the creepiest part because if any guy that plays this, you're literally looking at your own dick. Like you're tied up. This view. This guy's got a fucking buzzsaw. No. You're looking at your own dick while he's like about to chop this fucking thing. You're just like ah, and it
gives you the chills.
Outlast.
Play it.
Outlast is. I mean. With all that aside,
that's the DLC.
That's the DLC. That's
line,
the whistleblower DLC.
Outlast, good game to play for Halloween. It's can't defend yourself, so it's a good jump and scare kind of game. A lot of chasing, a lot of hiding. It's pretty good. If you're into some freaky shit, you go there.
If you like
play it.
If you like R. Kelly and you like being trapped in the closet, there's lots of closets to hide in.
Go on that tangent.
Oh, man. All right.
Trapped in the closet.
Next up. We have Bioshock, preferably Bioshock 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Infinite is great, fun plot twists and things, but it doesn't have that scare factor that we're looking for. So...
You guys know much more about Bioshock than I do.
You know,
I played Bioshock, but I never got too into Bioshock. Yeah. I never got too into Bioshock. I've never played Infinite. I played through Bioshock 1, and I got like halfway through Bioshock 2.
You didn't even
I loved it
finish
so much. I did a Splicer cosplay. I'll show you guys.
I just never got too into Bioshock. I never got too into System Shock either. Like just
System Shock. I mean, not many people played System Shock.
Yeah, but I mean, System Shock, Bioshock. Like I never really got into those games that much. I mean, like they were creepy. So the first Bioshock was creepy.
Yeah,
it was more. I wasn't expecting it to be scary. Then I played it. I'm like, yo, this is fucking creepy.
It's a game you need to play with the lights off by yourself in your room. It's super great.
I liked the whole moral decision part where you're like, all right, do I want to harvest the little girl or not? You kind of thing. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure I harvested every little girl. I'm like, man, fuck you, creepy little girls.
Oh, when I started playing
you gotta
it,
get daddy following you. I'm gonna get fucking killed if I don't get out of here quick.
Well, when I started, I'm like, what? You get extra Adam when you harvest them? Hell yeah, I'm gonna. And then I did it to like 2. And then I read that you get a really shitty ending to the game. And I'm like, oh no! So I changed and started saving them all. But if you harvest even one little girl, you get the middle, which is like, it's still the really shitty ending, but the narrator says it all in a really sad tone.
Yeah, I got a shitty ending.
In the really shitty ending, the narrator's like, fuck you, you're a terrible person, you unleashed evil onto the world. But then, if you kill like 1 or 2, it's like, oh man, you unleashed evil onto the world. What are you doing? It's really sad.
That's what I thought was cool about the second one was you got to play as a Big Daddy.
Yeah,
cool.
That was pretty cool. But
and you get to fight the big sisters.
It took away the scare factor.
It was, yeah.
What I liked about Bioshock 1 was it was creepy.
Scary.
That's why I wanted to play through it. Because I'm like, this is
because it was like you exploring this new world. It almost felt like you were the character. Obviously, you know, they put you like from the opening scene when you're in the plane.
The opening scene was awesome. The opening scene sucked me in. I'm like, I have to finish this game. The opening scene was fucking cool.
It's super good. And I feel like in the second one they still keep it with the I feel like what's spooky about the first one is the fact that you can just be wandering around a hall and then the lights will just shut off and they make the splicers run past you and you can hear their footsteps. And if you're playing alone in the dark of your room, you're just like, fuck is that in the game? Is that behind me? Yeah. And they do that again in the second one. But yeah, when you're a giant,
you're a badass
Big Daddy with a drill.
That's
cool. Did any of you guys like the drill? I like the drill, but everything I read about Bioshock 2, a lot of people didn't like using the drill.
No, I like the drill.
I was okay with it.
Bioshock 2 was, I mean, compared to the first one, it obviously, like, the thing I loved about Bioshock was the universe it was in. Like, the world.
Rapture?
Yeah, Rapture was beautiful.
Rapture's cool. Rapture's cool.
And there's just so much discovery to that, so it was just cool exploring that. And, yeah, it has tons of scary parts, because it's, like, completely abandoned. And it's got crazy
dead people,
crazy people everywhere.
Right? A bunch of drugged up people.
Had that splicer with like the little baby carriage just chilling.
Right in the beginning.
Yeah.
And she has, you see a shadow of a woman with a baby carriage and you're like, oh, survivors! And then you go and look and it's a crazy fucking splicer that has a baby carriage and she's like pushing a shotgun back and forth. And you're just like,
I feel like this is like the spoiler alert podcast for games that came out 7 years ago.
If you haven't played these games, we haven't said anything about like plot, really, except for like the whistleblower. That's just creepy shit. We didn't say anything about plot. These are just weird things that we want you to know. Yes. Spoiler but Bioshock does have really good twists and turns at the end where you're just like, gotta put the controller down and be like,
Is that what you have to do?
Anytime I play a game that surprises me, which is very rare, I'm just like, I like look to my dog. I'm just like,
I'll put the controller down, like walk over to my neighbor's house, knock on the door, be like, "Did you see that shit? Hold the fuck on! Did you see that shit?" They usually say no, and then I go back and just
They
make.
usually say
and then
no.
I
Someone said yes.
One neighbor, because they were watching. I was giving them a show. I was playing Leisure Suit Larry in my leisure suit.
Oh,
My name's not Larry though. Yet.
Play Bioshock, you guys.
a great
Play it
game.
again. Play it for your first time. We don't care. Next up,
We care.
We care. Next up, something a little newer. Soma, which was our last podcast
Jumping
episode.
off
I
of
did a let's
Bioshock,
play of the
yeah.
first hour of Soma.
We'll put the link in the description, or we'll put the little thing above.
Click right here.
Stop it! Both of you are wrong.
Click
it's over
right here.
here.
Oh, there.
It's over here.
Click right here.
Damn it, Maverick.
Just click
Soma.
right here, guys.
It's another. It's
Click on
another
the
game
screen.
like OutLast. No weapons or anything. It's a lot of running and less hiding than OutLast.
It's kind of like Bioshock 2.
It's like a mix of
water.
Bioshock and Outlast.
It really is. Wow.
You know?
We lined this up perfectly. It's Bioshock and OutLast,
It really
you guys.
is.
You are underwater. For some strange reason, you are underwater.
They do explain that. I won't go into why, but
Oliver finished the
yeah,
game.
the story's really
while
good.
I was gone.
It's a big mindfuck, but it's good.
Those are the best games.
Oh, it gets in there.
There are these
It's in
weird
there.
little contraptions that are on all the electrical equipment that look like little buttholes.
That is true.
Yeah, you have to finger.
If you look at
You have
my
to
Let's
finger
Play,
them.
every single time I find one, I'm just like, let's go poke
Just
the butthole.
be careful. Some of the buttholes fight back.
Some of the buttholes
No,
fight
hey.
back.
Once you do that first time, that's all
Once
you do
you
is
fist it
fist
the
them.
first time.
You just fist them the rest of the game.
Wait, really?
You really do.
So this is essentially Bioshock mixed with Outlast, mixed with like the raunchiest porn you've ever seen. Just
No, it's just fisting, bro.
so if that sounds interesting to you,
It tugs on your feels too, because there are these robots that have emotion and they.
Like Wally.
You gotta kill. It's like killing
Wally.
Wally, and you don't want to do it. Ah.
Also, the ending does involve some severe fisting as well.
Wait, really?
like major.
Major,
Like-
up to the shoulder.
Like he's about to go fist it, and then it's like
you're ruining
and
it.
then- I'm just saying.
I mean, it's not ruining
See,
anything.
Spoiler alert! This game came out last week, so we can
I'm not
spoiler
spoiling.
alert.
That's
this.
not even a
This is
spoiler.
just-
You
you're
don't
just
know which
fisting.
butthole's gonna do it.
Right.
If it's just a room full of buttholes, and it's like, did you pay attention to the pattern earlier of buttholes? One fist, three fists, red fist, P fist. It's four fists, two fists. I went three fists, and then
I don't even know where you're going there, man.
I'm trying to think of a color that rhymes with three.
Tree.
Someone's another good
One
one to
fist,
check
two,
out.
one fist, three fist,
Someone's
red
good,
fist,
yeah.
tree fist.
It
Again, if you're into some weird stuff like Outlast, there you go.
yeah, but it's more it's
That's totally like a
It's
mixture.
totally the two together. I didn't even think about that.
the story is more deep, I would say, than Outlast.
Literally and metaphorically.
Yes.
Is it? I liked the one for Outlast. I
was
can't
okay.
really say too much about it.
I feel like you're just salty about the ending.
Like the end,
I feel
you're
like
gonna get mad at the end.
I feel like
was-
you're salty.
yeah.
It's like a Dark Souls mad.
No, but the story in Soma really makes you think because like it questions
I
like what
haven't
makes you
beat it
human.
yet, so
does he
like-
ever get back home?
That would spoil the ending.
Just whisper to me.
you see these
gonna do it.
microphones?
Nah.
No, not. We'll do.
I said whisper.
We'll do it when the
Blink,
cameras are
blink,
off.
blink twice.
Yeah, I'll tell you off camera. I don't
Blink
wanna,
twice.
And blink twice for yes.
I don't want to spoil.
Blink
I'm not gonna,
once for yes.
No, I'm not doing it.
Next is another new one. We have Until Dawn, which came out 3 months ago? 3 weeks ago?
August.
Was it? It wasn't
Was
August.
it? Yeah, it was
Last
August.
week of
Yeah.
August.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
Really?
It's already been out.
Okay.
It's already been out for
Because
like
the
a
week
month
after
and a
that was
half.
Metal Gear. Yeah.
It's a
There
great
you
game.
go.
It's a
It's
great
good.
game.
It's a good game.
Yeah, that game surprised me a lot. It was a lot more deeper than I thought it would be.
Yeah. I
Like
think
all
it
the
surprised
collections
all of us. Any of us that
The way
played
it
the demos.
affected the story. There's lots of different. It's a great choose your own adventure game.
Yeah, if you like any of like the Telltale
Telltale
games,
games, yeah.
you're gonna love it.
And that game had the least nudity of the first three games we were talking about,
Yeah,
which
it
really
really
kind of
does.
upset me because I thought
Is there nudity in Bioshock? No, there's not.
I feel like
Actually, you're right. There's no nudity.
I feel like there's no nudity, but I feel like some of the splicers are dressed kind of scandalous there.
Well, they're wearing like
They're, like, not
40
wearing
style
anything.
dresses that are like torn.
Sexy.
They're flappers, man.
They're like the girls from
They're
Silent
sexy.
Hill, the nurses from Silent Hill.
Oh, man.
Until Dawn's a really good one. It's a lot of jump scares that you're gonna get. The story itself isn't super scary.
It's like Cabin in the Woods.
But, yeah.
It's self-aware of its story.
Well, that's the thing. It's like,
There are twists in it, too, that really get you.
They're
That
good.
makes it fun.
it's intentionally ripping on,
Camping, yeah.
the Cabin in the Woods style.
The college
like,
kids out in the woods
80s,
by
80s,
themselves.
80s horror movies where they're just like a bunch of stupid teenagers go out to the woods. You don't like any of them. And so, but it, like, yeah, the fact that you can really kind of decide who lives and who dies, it was more fun than I thought it'd be. I thought it would get gimmicky pretty quick, but I actually enjoyed it.
You definitely need to make sure you have a Skyrim mentality in that you need to search every room for every nook and cranny.
Specifically the top drawer.
To make sure, specifically the top to make sure you find everything in that game because it helps unfold so much more of the story than if you just run through it.
Like, I found out that my first playthrough, I kept someone alive that every other playthrough that I had seen after that, everybody got him killed at that same part. And I don't know how I did it, but it was just things that we found throughout the game.
When I finished
but
it, I told him that this one character died, and he's just like, "Wait, what?"
It's like every playthrough I've seen.
mine?
Yeah,
He was the easiest one to see.
it's like every playthrough I've
seen.
seen is like he dies, and then our first one was like, oh no, he was fine.
Wow.
That's so crazy because I do have this Skyrim mentality.
It was really
every
weird.
single game, people be like, "Why are you looking at the corner, Megan?" I'm like, "Because there's something here. Just wait. Just hold on."
You're gonna love
I saw a
PT.
glimmer.
She's gonna love PT.
Physical therapy? Why?
Yeah, that's further down the list.
Further
Yeah.
down, we'll get there.
But yeah, you're gonna play that.
Anything else about Until Dawn? You guys want to say? Good. I like
You
it.
should.
It's got real people in it. Like,
It's true.
they're all modeled after real actors. Hayden Panettiere's in it.
I
Yeah.
know. That made me
Spoiler alert,
happy.
you don't
And
get
she
to see
has
her
the-
naked because her towel is the...
Spoiler alert, her towel is
Huh.
super glued onto her body.
The
Yeah.
thing is, I've
She
never...
runs through half that game in a towel.
Yeah.
It doesn't go
It
anywhere.
never budges
All the
at
cosplay
all.
girls, have at it.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Please, cosplay girls. Cosplay is
ahead.
8 minutes here.
Easiest thing to do.
Please. Please. I'm begging you.
Oh my gosh. Something to remember for that game also, sometimes doing nothing is the best thing to do.
Don't kill birds.
We're not bringing this up again. We already talked about this.
Dick.
But also later in the game, see, it's really, there's no way to win here, because later in the game you're going to think that you shouldn't do anything, but then you should. I learned that.
That's I was like,
I learned that the hard way.
make your decisions
It'll be like,
the way you
choose
would.
between these two terrible things, and I'm like, I bet if I don't pick either, something great will happen, and then something worse happens. So,
Always pick what's in the top drawer.
I knew he was going to talk about the top drawer. Next up, Maverick's favorite, Fatal Frame.
I like Fatal Frame.
He likes Fatal Frame.
I like Fatal Frame. Fatal Frame is one of the scarier games I've ever played.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting. It's another one of those where, like, similar to OutLast, where you really don't have much defense, but the only defense you have is a camera, and you have to take pictures of the ghosts in order to fend them off, which it really kind of fights with your instinct. You know what I mean? Like, your first instinct when you see a fucking creepy ghost pop up is to go the other way. But if you do that, it's just going to get you in this game. So, like, when a ghost pops up, you have to whip out the camera and, like, line it up, and it's tense because it's coming at you, and you have to take a fucking picture of
Do you
it.
have to get like the
Oh, man.
focus and stuff right for the picture? Doesn't matter.
Not like focus or anything. I mean, if it was a, if
You
it
have
was,
to be in
if
the
it was an
frame.
S,
I was
if it was an
wondering how
S5,
big
you'd
it
be
is.
fucked because the S5 focus sucks. I'm starting to realize this.
Yeah.
But no, they have to be in the frame. But like, it's a lot harder when shit's just like popping off, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I just walked into this really tiny room. There's a ghost about like a foot away from me, and it's coming right at me. I need to whip my camera out and like line it up and take a picture really quick. It's interesting. It's like it's a freaky fucking game.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's creepy, and it's one of those like Japanese horror games. So it's got like all the creepy like just little Japanese girls. Like, I don't want to sound
Dead-
bad, but
dead
like
little
little Japanese
Anyone
girls are
Japanese
fucking
is
freaky
sorry.
in like any horror aspect
Oh, absolutely.
whatsoever. And this game has a whole shitload of it. And it's just creepy.
It's like The Grudge, man.
Yeah, it's like a whole bunch of
They got that
The
mouth,
Grudge.
that cat boy.
So yeah, but there's a new Fatal Frame coming
Yes.
on the Wii U, October 22nd.
22nd, I believe.
Yeah.
Coming up.
excited for that one.
Yeah.
We'll
So
try that out.
when that comes
It's on
out,
the Wii U too, right?
yeah.
Yeah, which means for now we can do a let's
Which I
play,
mean,
but-
I also feel like that'll be. I don't know if that'll be good or bad for the camera aspect of it, because I feel like you're probably
Yeah,
have to
you're
use the
using the
remote,
gamepad. I think
and you're probably gonna have to use
That'd be-
gamepad. So that'll
That'll make it easier if anything.
I think that'll make it easier, but I feel like that might take away some of the scare part of it. I'm interested because like you'll have to be looking at the gamepad to line it up.
Yeah.
I wish it was like a 3DS where like it was like 3D and like
That'd be
shit
cool.
pop out.
Yeah,
That would be
this
pretty
would
cool.
be super cool on like Oculus.
Yes, and
That would be
that's
cool.
the thing. Something like that on Oculus would be
Or what-
that's
what
one of those games that'd be
project-
made for.
No, PlayStation VR.
VR.
No Morpheus.
We talked about this.
Project Morpheus is better.
Yes,
PlayStation, bad.
but
Bad
yeah,
choices.
Fatal Frame is. It's a unique. I think it's worth a play if you like horror games, just because it's different than just about any other horror game I've played. It's weird. There's no other game I've played like it. I mean, there's better horror games I've played, but it's
got
worth
that
it's worth a play. Where it's like if you like horror games, it's interesting. This new one looks pretty. So I haven't seen too much on it, but
I'm
it's
excited for
it's
the
Fatal
new
Frame, man.
And
Fatal
when it
Frame,
comes
Fatal Frame
out-
with better graphics sounds good to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And something on the Wii U I can play.
All right.
That sounds good to me.
The only thing I ever played on Wii U and I liked was Zombie U. And that was
Which is
Now it's on
4 years
PlayStation.
ago. Really?
Yeah, they really.
Now it's just
You got it?
zombie.
It's
Is
zombie.
it still
Yeah, yeah. There's no you.
That game was cool.
Yeah,
That was the only game I played on Wii U when
That's
I got it.
literally why I got the Wii U.
Yeah, I thought
was
you
for
got
that
Super
game,
Smash.
and when it was over,
When I
I
first
played
got the
some,
Wii U,
like,
that was the
Sonic
only game I played.
All-Stars
Then I started playing Smash
Racing,
and Mario
that was
Kart.
it.
You gotta get so the reason I bought a Wii, I mean, obviously it's for all the Mario games, Super Smash
Zelda.
Brothers, yeah, Zelda as well, but
Sonic All-Stars Racing
don't have
was
any-
literally like
Wind Waker
6
was the
months
only reason I
away.
bought my console for the Wind Waker remake because I love Zelda.
I feel like that's why a lot of people bought it.
I'm sure.
Zelda's
That's why they
amazing.
came out with a bundle.
Everyone
Yeah.
loves Zelda.
I honestly got the most use out of my Wii U. I still get the most use out of my Wii U strictly
coaster?
for Netflix. Cause
Really?
it's like strictly
You
for
don't use
Netflix.
PlayStation?
No. I just whip out the Wii U and grab the gamepad and I like cycle through there. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
it's
smart.
just convenient. I'm just like, oh, it's on the gamepad. I can just cycle through and pick everything and
And then you chill?
pick it, and then I just
To each their
Netflix
own.
and chill by myself. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but my right forearm pretty strong here.
Oh, man.
Damn right, guys. A lot of working out.
And we're back on topic.
Single life.
With Fatal Frame coming out on October 22nd, that gives you time to play the other 4 fantastic games we've mentioned. And next up, we have F.E.A.R, which is kind of going back.
First
again.
encounter assault recon.
Yeah. So you remember the.
Fuck
that
yeah,
one.
F.E.A.R was my
Alright.
shit. F.E.A.R was my shit.
Yeah, that's an oldie but goodie. Again, with a little dead girl. in it.
Hey!
Alma. And you know what was really cool about F.E.A.R? There were scares. That was one of the first games. Like there were scares in that game that you could completely miss if you didn't
Oh, yeah,
go
yeah.
explore.
If you don't see her, yeah.
If you didn't go
have to
explore.
look. Yeah.
Like I remember in F.E.A.R 3. I was playing F.E.A.R 3 in like the very beginning of the game. You go in and like your objective. I mean, you're supposed to go. You go into this. I think it was like a hospital or something, and like you walk in and everybody's like all fucking massacred. You're like, oh shit, this is not fun.
I should
And
probably
then
leave.
you're like walking in, and there's a room off to the side. You can go in. It's got some ammo and everything, but you don't have to go in there. You can just keep walking. This scared the fuck out of me because I walk in there, I pick up the ammo, and I turn around. I mean, this was the beginning of the game. Like we haven't seen shit yet. This is the very beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Something you could completely walk past and never experience. I grabbed the ammo and turned around, and she was right the fuck there for like half a second, and then just vanished.
Yeah, she
and like that was one of the only. I don't get freaked out too much at scary games. Like I paused. I was just like, ah! Because she was gone so quickly. I was like, I don't think anybody saw this. Like, I hope I'm not going crazy. But then I saw someone else play it. They freaked out there too. But like there were so many scares. Like in the first F.E.A.R, there were a couple parts where like you could go into like the bathroom, and there were just random parts where she'd pop out. You never had to go into the bathroom. But that was what was cool about it. You never really knew when some scary shit would happen.
You'd be going down a ladder this one time, remember? And you're like, he always, he just goes down, looks down, and then when he looks
And
up,
that
she's
one time he looks up
there.
and she's right there, and then
Yeah,
you go
right.
down and you're just like, I'm gonna chill here.
No, that game was terrifying, but it had really good guns.
And that's the thing. I was like,
Yeah.
the actual gameplay of that game that's why I was like, it's one of the best first-person shooters, period, of all time. Minus all of the horror aspects of it. It's one of the best first-person shooters I've ever played. Just like, it was one of the first ones that kind of had like the real like ragdoll physics too, when you take guys out, and like the physics and everything, and the AI, like the human AI in that game was like, they would flank and like call shit out. I mean, it was really good. And just like, I always like the reactions, like getting shot, like the physical reactions of it. Like the shooting in that game was good. And they had like kind of like the bullet time effects and all that.
They did.
It had that little like rail gun that would nail people to walls, which was easily my favorite thing on the planet. Like, especially in multiplayer. When you nailed somebody to a wall, there's no better feeling. In real life and in video games.
I knew that was coming.
Not supposed to tell people about that.
What do you think we keep in this closet?
What closet?
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
That's
trapped in the closet!
Shh. They don't need to know about that.
Next up.
Oh, are you in the closet?
Is a favorite for everyone, The Last of Us.
Yes.
Last of Us Remastered is absolutely beautiful. So if you're gonna play it, play Remastered.
Yes.
And then you also get Ellie's whole backstory, and it's great.
But you never played that, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
Did you
good.
finally get it? Okay, good.
Yeah, of course.
You played the DLC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to throw in some words?
I mean, The Last of Us, I'll be doing a Let's Play on it. This, hopefully within the next week or two. So you guys be on the lookout for that. This is one of my favorite games ever. Like, period. I've never really even played any Nathan Drake games ever, which you guys can hate on me
Naughty
for that.
Dog games.
Well,
Generally.
any Nathan Drake games. I guess Naughty Dog games.
Uncharted.
I mean,
That was like Nathan Drake game.
Nathan Drake is the company.
well, no, I mean, technically I played Naughty Dog games before, but it's just like...
Nathan Drake is...
But anything on the new generation I haven't played, so...
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we have to do Let's Plays for those.
I know. I'm going to buy the whole collection.
The Uncharted collection.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, I can't wait.
I've been replaying them on my PS3 right now.
It makes me sad. It makes
The
me sad that
graphics
there's
for
no multiplayer.
Uncharted 1, I totally forgot her.
Yeah, they're
really bad.
They don't hold up.
It makes me sad that there's no multiplayer in that though. But yeah,
Multiplayer is
when I've
fun.
seen some of the videos for like Uncharted 1, the remaster too,
Still doesn't.
it
I
looks like
started it, and as
graphically.
soon as the tutorial comes on to teach you how to shoot when you're on a boat, I'm just like,
Oh god,
what the
graphically
fuck
it doesn't look
is
terrible, but it definitely doesn't hold up. And it's funny
this?
because
Well,
when
the
it first
camera's
came out,
really wonky
That was
and-
amazing.
oh my
yeah.
god, when that first
Oh.
came out, it was like, damn.
That's
When
what
I got my PlayStation,
This is gorgeous.
and it came with that.
I got a PlayStation 4 Uncharted. Like, that's when you want to get it.
Hello.
Yeah, no, I mean, the only reason, like, I remember I bought The Last of Us for my brother, and I played it before I gave it to him, and I beat it, and I was in love with that game. Like,
That game was amazing.
Like, everything about it was just freaking, you can get lost, man. It's mesmerizing, the world. All
The stories.
Yeah,
also,
all the characters have so much depth. Like, no one's you come across in that game, like, you get to know them, like, inside and out. Like, their morals, why they are who they are. Like, it's an amazing game.
Yeah, and it's technically not a scary game, but it's a stressful game.
It's got its moments, though.
There's some moments. That moment when you're in the bottom of the fucking hotel.
I hated that moment
Oh my
so much.
god.
The clickers.
Oh, well, like when
It's
it
with
was
you first meet
when you get those runners, whatever the hell those things were that like
Yeah.
run and hide,
Yeah.
and then you have to start up the generator and find the key card and
And
open
then
up.
the bloater comes
That
out.
one was super stressful to me.
Yeah.
So was the one when you're in the college and you have to go
Oh, yeah.
underneath like the one level and it's all filled with spores.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
all clickers down there. And then the one door you have to get through is one of the giant armored ones. I don't want to call them bloaters because that's not what they are.
The big fat guys?
They're not called bloaters in that. Bloaters is from Left 4 Dead.
No,
Isn't it?
Boomers is from
no,
Left 4
Boomers
Dead.
is okay. What's bloaters from? I forget.
Last of
The
Us.
Last of Us.
No, isn't it?
They're
Yeah.
the-
Yeah.
No, in The Last of Us,
Yeah.
they don't have.
They're bloaters.
No, they're not bloaters. That's not what they're called.
That's
Which
what we
one?
got.
Which
That's
one are you
what what's his name
No,
calls
because in
them,
The
Bill.
Last of Us, it's the
Bloaters.
It's the fungus that it is. So
Yeah, so they call them bloaters.
No,
They call them
over
bloaters.
time, the longer you've been infected, you armor up. You get plates of armor.
They call the big ones bloaters.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's just playing the clickers.
That noise, man.
That's the thing. That noise.
That
That's a
noise is-
stressful
They did a
noise.
damn good job. That's like, because that reminds me of like when we were talking about The Grudge, that fucking noise from
Oh,
The
yeah.
Grudge. It's like hearing a whole bunch of that
Yeah, these guys.
with a purpose. Guess what? Those? The bloaters?
It's a bloater.
I'm sorry, everyone. I lied.
Yeah, but I mean,
I was so positive.
no, it's okay. Yeah.
It's all good.
There's always a super big zombie in every game, and
Yeah.
they all have different names.
I always like that they take time naming them. Like there must be like so many types.
Why don't they just say fucking
I thought it was
zombie in
very.
The Walking Dead?
It was cool, and it was brave of them to make the clickers like once they kill you, once they are near you and they get you, you die. Like there's no escaping
Unless you have a shiv.
Right? When
Well, you
you're able
upgrade
to
them,
upgrade far
and
enough
then
to
you
get a
get a
shiv,
shiv.
you get one mess output.
Yeah, but
Anything after that?
But you
when
can't
you
let them get
die, it is
It's
so
gross.
brutal.
Yeah.
And Ellie, even though she's a child,
I know.
they give her such brutal murders.
That's a game we've.
If you die by a bloater and you're Ellie, he literally just comes up and
Thinking of
crushes your
deaths.
skull.
Just on a tangent here.
Hello.
Because you're talking about like the brutal
Another-
death scenes.
Oh, yeah.
One of the games that really got that right, Dead Space. We forgot about
love
that.
those games.
That's
Oh
a
my
great
one of my favorite
God.
game.
Throw that in there.
It's like we'll throw that into
another-
our horror mix. Dead Space is one of the creepy, scarier games I've played. The first two, the third one, once they had a co-op
Third
and
one was,
everything, it wasn't as scary. First
the
two,
first and second.
first
I
two
played
were
the
fucking
second
scary.
one like so many times. First one I played on like the hardest difficulty.
Oh, that game was so fun.
I loved it. Yeah.
that game was badass. I mean, it started off
Even
like
the aliens were like
the fucking necromorphs,
Yeah,
dude. Those
they're
things were
fucking beautiful.
badass.
Yeah, and the way the game starts out, the first one, they lock you in with one, and you don't have any weapons.
And
it's
you're like
terrifying.
locked in this room, and you see it jump through the freaking vent
Yeah.
and massacre everybody in the other room, and then it jumps back up in the vent. You hear it, you're like,
Oh fuck!
"Ooh, I have nothing." And then you find a mining tool, which ends up being like one of the best weapons of all time, like in
Plasma
any
cutter?
fucking video game. That plasma cutter.
Yeah.
That's like in
Oh, I know.
Bioshock. I used the wrench for a long
Right?
time in that game.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like Dead Space was like, it was so interesting because like they tried to do the whole like, sometimes headshots aren't the best way to do because like
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
most
that's right.
games are like, oh, headshot. This one was like, oh, cut off their limbs. You know, it's
Yeah.
one of the first things you see written in blood on the wall is cut off their limbs. And so yeah, you're like trying to shoot it. You know, that was a cool thing about the plasma cutters. You could either shoot vertical for dismembering like arms,
Yeah.
or switch it to horizontal to shoot off like legs and heads. And it was like, all right, well, cool. And you start figuring out like, all right, if I shoot off 3 limbs here, whether it's like 2 legs and a head or like 1 leg, 2 arms, then this thing will die.
Yeah.
But you couldn't just fucking shoot their heads off. Like you shoot their heads off and they're just crawling around, splashing at you. It was like,
Well, sometimes they get even worse when you cut their head off.
yeah, there were the ones where you shoot their heads off and
Yeah.
like they sprout like
Yeah.
tentacles and it turns into like a really bad hentai. And
Necromorphs are great, honestly.
that's one of the I can't believe we forgot about Dead Space. Yeah,
Yeah.
Seriously, that
Why
game.
did we?
I don't know. That game has
because it hasn't been out for a while.
and that was the thing. Like just back, like what brought it up. The death scenes in that game were like hype as
Half-Life
shit.
either.
We can't.
That freaked
We
me
can't.
out.
Yeah,
You
Other
play it?
games we've
the head like
forgotten.
with the head
Half-Life.
crabs.
The head crabs are so crazy.
Was in Half-Life 2?
They
What was
look
it
like little
called?
chickens.
Oh yeah, the head crabs. Yeah.
Well, did you ever hear like when you reverse the noises the zombies make in Half-Life?
Oh yeah. They actually say shit.
That like
It's
like
reversed,
like if
yeah.
you reverse it, it's just like help me,
Yeah.
like all this
Yeah.
creepy shit.
No
No.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
That was a really creepy
fact.
thing. Like if
That's
you
very
you can find
creepy,
videos of it on YouTube, but like the zombies, like the head crab zombies in Half-Life, when
Half-Life 2.
Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
Like when you're just playing it, it just sounds like they're making noises and stuff. But when they play it backwards, they're actually like talking, like "Help me!" Help, like all kinds of
actually-
creepy shit.
When you first play, like they're horrific noises,
Oh
like the
my
way
God,
they scream
yeah.
at you, and
Excuse me.
Here we go. Preview.
was
That's exactly the noise they make.
This is a normal sound.
right. Which is, I hate that sound.
That's my own noise.
Here it is backwards.
Isn't that creepy?
so
Isn't that creepy? Isn't that creepy?
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking creepy?
It's so creepy.
I wonder how loud that's gonna be on the video. Look at this fight.
It's okay. It's all
We can
good.
adjust the sound.
Ah! I remember
Yeah.
playing that game with my brother when I was little. I didn't even actually play it. I watched him play 1 and 2. And it scared the shit out of me because the little ones that hang from the ceiling. Like
That's what I was just about to... And then you, hit it, and you just stick, and all of a sudden you're going up.
Swirls you up and
Shoot it! Finger the butthole!
Finger the butthole. That is what horror games teach children, is to finger the butthole. Stop.
This is what we're teaching kids.
Another good one.
The Gooks podcast.
Hey, you don't see that in the newspaper though.
Fingering buttholes?
I guess not.
This is the stories that
for violence.
we cover the hard-hitting stories. The stories the news won't cover. The children fingering butthole epidemic.
Can you imagine a news report? Child attempts to finger other child's butthole.
Claims video games is the cause. Claims the GXP podcast is motivation.
Claims
in trouble.
Soma was responsible for this.
It's like I saw Meagan play it and I just had to do it. Oliver entered a room of buttholes at the very end of the game and fingered the wrong one.
No, eventually you go up a level and you fist the buttholes, kids. When you've had enough experience fingering, then you fist.
You gotta break through.
I'm so sorry to anyone watching this.
You gotta get to the point where
episode.
you can get shoulder deep and you're a winner. You need to start acting like you're a ventriloquist.
Oh man.
All right, let's continue.
Now that we've gotten off track from our 10
Scary game.
It's like 12 or 13 now. 13. Oh, that's great for Halloween. We're
Okay.
good. We're doing good.
That's good.
Okay.
Scary game honorable mention. Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
God, Maverick. No. Next up is BloodBorne. Which, when did BloodBorne come out? It was earlier this year.
This year,
April?
I think it was March.
April?
Yeah, it was March.
It was March. It's a good game. It's by the creators of Dark Souls, so you're obviously just going to get incredibly aggressive and angry at the game. It has the same death
You might cry.
mentality. What? You might cry.
Might
It
cry.
has the same mentality for deaths. You die, you lose everything. And you could be running around with like 20,000 souls. You're like, yeah, I'm going to go to the doll, upgrade my character. And then giant fucking beast out of nowhere comes and just one hit kills you. And then you...
Game over.
Turn off
RKO out of nowhere.
You turn off the console, you walk away, you cool down for a day or two, and then you try it again. And they only give you one chance to go get everything back, which is great, because I never was able to get my stuff back. Because I always died at bosses, and then I would die at the same boss, so I kept leaving just piles of souls laying around in the arenas with the bosses. And that's probably the best part about BloodBorne that makes it like a good Halloween game, is just the monsters in that game are fucking crazy.
good design.
The design of the monsters in that game are like
I like
creepy.
it. It's
They're really
great.
when
The
you
cleric
if you
beast
really
is
have the time to
awesome.
look at them,
Before they murder you.
they're pretty fucking
The
cool.
cleric beast is cool.
The
Hairy
cleric
dog
cleric
thing.
beast was badass.
What is it? It's the bloodthirsty beast or something? The one that literally has the skin on it ripped off and folded open. And it's a poisonous boss. It's like a poison boss. You can't even get close to it. And it's so obnoxious because it just violently thrashes around, throwing its flaps of skin everywhere. And then eventually it has 3 stages. So you, like, the first stage, you're like, this boss is going to be super easy to beat. And then you piss him off and he does this big roar. And then he's faster, he's more aggressive, he starts shooting more toxins at you. So you're constantly healing while trying to run away, while also keeping the camera locked on him. It is the worst battle. I hate it.
Yeah, it's a tough game.
Yeah,
That's a game
the horror in
Good
that
job,
I don't
Dark
know
Souls
I
creators.
will never finish.
I don't
that
have the
game.
patience for that game.
the horror in that game comes from the fact that like you're always scared to die.
Yeah.
You know?
You're like, I need to drop these souls.
It's like
off
you're
some-
always just scared because like something could like there's no such thing as like a easy fight.
No.
Just about everybody you come across, like you have to be on your game.
Otherwise you'll get
Because
murdered.
There's so
anybody can
much
just
dodging.
fuck you up.
There's all dodge rolls in that game.
It's like and that's what's interesting about that compared to Dark Souls, because Dark Souls you had a block, you had a shield, and you could block. This one, there's no block. Like
you can find a wood shield
it's
laying
dodge.
around.
Yeah.
You can find a piece of wood. That's the only shield in the game.
block it with your wood. Tell me how that goes for you.
Terrible. And another just shitty thing about it. Sorry, we're not ripping on BloodBorne. We're just telling you how hard it is.
Bloodborne's
The
awesome.
prices are outrageous at the store. Like, you need fire to fight so many of the enemies. And then when you go to buy fire paper to equip to your weapons, it's not even worth buying. It's outrageous. You'll buy like 5 for a boss fight. You go and lose that boss fight, and then you have to run through an entire level to go back to have enough gold souls to buy more fire paper, and each time you're collecting less souls, so you have less fire paper to buy, and then you're eventually going into boss fights with like 1 fire paper, and you're like, well, why am I trying?
Why am I doing
It's
this?
a pretty
Why am I
awesome.
doing this?
It's an awesome damn game, go. If
Play it.
you're
Good. The Kirk hammer.
if you're a
is sick.
masochist.
I like the Kirk hammer.
Yeah, I feel like to finish those games, that's like saying I'm one of the best gamers ever. Because
I know some people
so
that beat Bloodborne,
challenging.
and I congratulate you because I didn't.
Yeah, it's so challenging. Like you said,
I
you
beat
have
the
to
cleric beast.
You have to be patient.
I did it, you guys. I beat Father Gergerharmer, the guy in the beginning.
I
beat him before the cleric
That's
beast.
French, guys. You're not going to understand.
No, it's not. It's
You beat him before the cleric
Cheaper.
beast?
Yeah, I beat him before the cleric beast, and then when I finally went to go fight the cleric beast, it was so easy.
I found a glitch that got me like way past cleric beast without me having to fight the cleric beast.
I think I did too. I probably did the same. I
was
ran
pretty
through
happy about it.
all of Yharnam before I even had to fight that guy.
I found him on accident the first time I played, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this fog?"
Well, I just remembered the.
Oh,
I just remember all the previews for the game of the cleric beast
On
coming
the
down on the
bridge,
bridge,
yeah.
and we demoed it at E3.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
I
this
never made
way.
it that
I'm
far
not
in the
gonna-
E3 demo.
That bridge, this
or not E3,
No.
it's
PSX.
the
yeah.
PSX.
It was a PSX too.
Yeah.
We all played it a little bit. And next up is Alien: Isolation.
Yes.
Speaking of colons,
One of my favorite games.
Dude, I can't believe how old this game is. I just looked it up. It came out back
Alien?
literally a year ago. As
Isn't it
a,
Isolation?
yeah.
yeah, it's
Almost
been around
a year
for a
ago
little bit.
exactly. Happy anniversary.
Yeah. It came out near the 20th anniversary. Or no, not 20th. It's longer than that.
October 7th.
2000.
Yeah, it's one of the anniversaries for Alien the movies. And yeah, if you're a fan of the Alien movies, like it's totally like
Especially the
it's
first
for
one.
the fans. Yeah,
It's
everything
great.
they have in that movie, like even that you didn't even think about, like oh that's actually in the movie. Because after I played that game, I went back and watched the first movie, and it's all there, and there's a lot of fan service.
Lots of fan service.
And the alien in there is terrifying and extremely intelligent, and
It's one of the best like horror movie or like horror game like enemies
Yeah.
in any game because it learns like
it does.
You know how like Outlast and stuff, you know, you hide in cabinets, you hide under tables or something. If you do that a bunch in
It'll
this,
figure it out.
it starts
starts
learning.
opening
like
it.
you could hide in the locker and
They do that in Outlast though. There are times where you run and hide in the locker, and then you're like, "Ha! I'm totally safe," and then he opens the locker, and you're like,
that's the thing though. But like he starts like the places that you hide, he just starts figuring out. He's like, oh, this is where he's gonna hide, and that's the first place it looks. And it's so it's like you really have to start switching it up, and it's the thing that's different
Keeps you
about
on your toes.
Mhm. And the thing that's different about kind of Outlast, like you were saying earlier, it's like there are weapons in the game. You can't kill
But you
the
can
alien,
like, get it away from
but
you.
like you get like you know like a flamethrower or something like that. You can scare it off, kind of thing. So if it's running at you, you can shoo it off. But then it just like runs.
Shoo off
It just
the
runs
giant
off,
alien.
and then
which is really terrifying. Like once you make eye contact with the alien, you start screaming and charges at you. You want to like take out your flamethrower and just like shoot it. And sometimes like it'll even get close enough where like it still knocks you down.
yeah.
And you think you're like fucked, but then it just
and then it's
runs
gone,
away.
and
Yeah.
you're just like, oh fuck. But that's the cool thing is like there's vents and all kinds of random
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Oh,
if
yeah.
and you can hear it like all around because it's traveling physically, and you can hear it traveling behind you, in front of you, over there.
It's that's when you need to play with headphones and a dark
Or
room.
surround
like,
sound.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
so it's
The sound is amazing.
awesome.
Like,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and the fan service too. Like, I mean, it goes down to like little details.
Little, yeah.
You
Stuff
know?
that they had on like their desks.
like the
You'll
little
find them in there.
bird that
Yeah.
bobs up, that little, I don't know what it's called, the little bird that
I
bobs up
love
and down in the
that thing.
water. Like, I mean, there's so many random little fan service. And the motion sensor in that game is like, it's compared to like Colonial Marines, which was a joke. God. But like the motion sensor in that, like that's an actual tool that's effective, you know, and you have to do that to kind of monitor what it is.
Which also, if you have it out and it's nearby, like it'll hear it.
It'll hear the beat. It'll hear the ting
It's
from
like-
the motion sensor.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like,
Isn't that one of your most utilized tools in Alien Isolation?
and that's the thing. It's like
Yeah,
you want to use it a
yeah.
lot so you can keep tabs on where it is. But if he's close and you're using it, you know
okay.
the ping from
Yeah.
the motion sensor, it'll hear it.
Oh, of course.
And it's like, oh, well,
That's
that's interesting.
I never
Yeah.
played that. Maybe that's something I'll play
Yeah.
this October.
We can do it.
should.
It's a great game.
It's bad. And another cool thing, too, is like there's also at random points you find other survivors and other people on the ship. You can bait the alien. The alien's not just hunting you. Because the alien's like kind of just hunting people on the ship. And so you can, if you need to escape or something like that, you can kind of lure other people. You can lure the alien over to these people over here and have him, like, all of a sudden they start fighting and he fucks up them while you take off the other way kind of thing.
So the cool thing about that is that you play as an engineer. It's Ripley's daughter, Sigourney Weaver's daughter. So it does continue that story, and it does it well. So she builds like these things, and sometimes they're traps. So she makes like the noisemakers, which are like these loud screeching things that you can throw at the humans, and then it'll show up there, and then just rips.
And then all of a sudden, like you know the alien is somewhere. Like even if you don't see the alien, you know it's somewhere. So you throw a noisemaker over there, and then all of a sudden you just hear the alien, and you just see it just fuck shit up, and it's just like this is so cool. But that game, like it's scary because like that's one of the things you always feel like you're being hunted. I mean, it can be anywhere. It can be above you. Like, you can walk under a vent. If you don't notice it, sometimes you'll see kind of like saliva dripping down from the ceiling.
From the ceiling,
And, like, that's just because the alien's up in the vent. If you walk under that vent, that thing will pop right the fuck down and kill you. Like, you have to look out for little things like that. I mean, it's cool.
Another cool thing is that it also has cool deaths in it too.
Yeah, that's another
so like
one.
if it sneaks up behind you and like you aren't even aware of it, like all of a sudden you'll be playing and all of a sudden
you'll
just see
next thing you know there's a tail,
and then a tail just shoots out of her chest. And,
that's awesome.
And then like it just picks you up and looks at you. It's like
and then it takes its little mini.
I feel like I'd get really mad, but I'd also be impressed.
Yeah, you will die a lot in that game, but it's fair.
But it's fucking sweet. It's sweet.
Very nice.
That's a fun one.
I'll admit I had to beat that game on easy because it was really hard.
Even on easy, it's not.
It's not. It's not
easy.
A cakewalk on easy.
I believe it.
Because it's really intelligent.
Hard just makes the alien
more aware,
way more aware.
Yeah.
It's like you can get away with making a little more noise on easy, but like on hard, it's like nope. Here's everything, everywhere.
Yeah.
Always.
You guys should play it. Make sure to check it out.
It's
cheap.
We'll actually do a let's play.
I think it's like, honestly, I've seen Alien Isolation
it's like
on sale.
20, 30 bucks.
Yeah,
everywhere.
There's a lot of good sales. I've seen it on sale a lot of times though. Like in the last few months, it's gone on sale a few times. So.
I think the game got treated unfair too when it came out. A lot of people tore it apart.
Yeah,
a lot of people hated on it, but I was like,
I 5.9.
It was like it was like a 5 and 6.
I saw like an 8 out of 10.
I think it was like GamerSpot. It was really
still
some people
like 3 times the score of
9 out of 10.
the Alien game before it.
Yeah.
Steam gave it a 9 out of 10.
See, some people really, really love that game. And then some people,
I've seen that box, but I never played it.
Yeah,
Such a good game.
it is. I have it on Xbox.
That's
One.
a good horror game.
One of us will do a let's
Even
play.
little challenge modes are fun because it's just
Let's
like
play
you
that's coming
have
soon,
to
too.
play through
That's
sections.
what I want to do.
The challenge modes are fun because it's like you start in a room and there's resources and stuff in the room, so you got to kind of get what you want. And then the second you open the door, timer starts, and you've got to get either complete a couple objectives, get to this point. Alien is somewhere, so like you're trying to complete this objective.
They also let you play the
fastest
movie
time.
and the scenes like. There's a scene in like the movie where you're trapping the alien.
Oh yeah,
that's when the captain dies. You do that scene.
Spoiler alert.
Whatever. The movie's like 30 years old. You go in the vents and you have to like close all the vents and trap it in a certain way. And you do that with the alien. I haven't beaten it yet. It was hard.
It's badass.
Yeah, and then there's another one where you do the very end where you're Sigourney Weaver trying to escape.
Yeah, the ship.
The ship. Yeah,
She in her cotton panties.
That's the very, very end. This is where she's
wearing the silk panties.
Yeah, so funny. Sigourney Weaver in her like cotton panties.
Sigourney, if you're watching,
what's up?
You're invited over anytime.
Dude, it'd be so cool to meet Sigourney Weaver.
It would be,
yeah. Like she's like
the cool thing about that. She actually because she usually doesn't support any of the Alien games or stuff. She supported this one. Her voice is in it, in the Alien movie stuff, and her voice is in the game.
She plays
like
such
the recordings.
She's a damn good actress.
Yeah.
I love like almost anything she does. Like even when she's a tough.
And she's going to be in the new Alien movie, so I'm excited for that.
What you guys can't see is Sigourney Weaver has a gun to our head right now in the closet. She's making us say all these things. We love you, Sigourney.
So great. Next up, Silent Hill. Everyone loves Silent Hill.
Yes.
Silent
for
Hill's-
their own reasons.
Silent Hill's a classic, yeah.
And then that Silent Hill's been brought up recently because
Good
of
creepy factors.
because of PT, which was supposed to be a demo for Silent Hills that got canceled.
Norman Reedus.
With Norman Reedus.
Yeah, seriously, I was disappointed they canceled that.
Yeah, there is.
There's PT Easter eggs in Metal Gear too.
There is. You can hear you hear the radio broadcast. It's in Africa. Yeah. But yeah, that's PT especially. Out of everything that Silent Hill did, I still love PT a lot. I wouldn't even consider it a real Silent Hill game, even though it's considered the demo for that canceled one. But PT was terrifying.
Oh god.
Like,
Oh yeah.
PT
out of all those games
badass.
that played, you play the first 5 minutes of that game, this game just doesn't feel right.
Because
feels a little too real.
that photorealism.
Yeah, it feels real.
If they made a whole Silent Hill game with
Just
that
that?
looked like that,
Yeah.
that'd be fucking terrifying.
Oh, I know.
Because it looks that was the graphics
The lighting
a
was
lot
all-
because a lot of times people hark on graphics and everything, and a lot of times graphics don't make the game. In a situation like that, the fact
graphics made that
that
game.
the graphics were that
it
good.
enhances your experience.
It was
100%.
holy shit! Especially in a horror game like that, where it's just in a normal. I wouldn't say that's a normal house. That hallway was weird. That hallway that
creepy
was
as
an
shit.
extremely oddly shaped house, but the photorealism of it and the relatability to it, where it's oh no, I have a hallway and I have a bathroom, and this looks a lot kind of like my bathroom, and there's a odd talking dead fetus in this sink.
There is.
I haven't played it
Let me
yet,
look through this
Maverick.
peephole real quick.
Oh, you haven't played it. I forgot about that.
We're gonna do a let's
She should do
play.
Let's Play that,
Well,
definitely.
Well, it's not spoiling much.
That's you'll
Well,
see.
now I know there's a fetus in the sink.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
is, but you don't know. You don't
don't
that.
understand.
Yeah.
Stand.
Bottom
so the cool
line.
thing-
I'm
about
looking
this
out
game-
for an oddly shaped house with a weird hallway and a bathroom that looks like
Well-
Maverick's.
Well, if you get the right ending, then they do stem cell research with the fetus.
Okay.
So the cool thing about this game is that there's really not much to it.
No, it was so simple.
One hallway, and then you make a right, and then there's a bathroom there, and then there's you see an upstairs area, no staircase, and then there's a door into the basement, and then it just repeats over and over again.
just-
you
L-shaped.
you honestly don't know what you're supposed to do. That's the weird
you're
thing
just
about it.
discovering
How long
things.
is it? This is a demo.
It's as long as you want it to be.
It can
really.
it can take, if you know exactly what to do on the first playthrough, it could probably take 15 minutes. It's really not that long.
Yeah, I never
But-
was able to do. Did you do the last part? Because the last part you need a microphone and you have to say some stupid. Did you do it?
There's a lot of it's
I
really
never
in depth.
finished that game.
You actually need to talk in your microphone. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
You have to say a name like Isabel or something.
some weird
I
name.
forgot what it was.
Yeah.
I did it. I remember doing it because I watched a YouTube video. I'm like,
Me and him tried it, and we could. It just didn't work for
Yeah,
us.
it wasn't working with that headset.
Yeah, well, I was using that cheap headset that
Yeah.
the PS4 came with at the time. Yeah,
that game is, and it just makes me so upset.
you feel yourself descending further and further into this hellish house, and it just gets worse.
Yeah, because
and worse.
the first time you realize that you're in this loop, because you
Yeah, 'cause
walk
the
in,
house
if
is
you
normal, you're like,
you
oh,
walk
okay,
in,
it's
and
a
then
house.
you just kind of the natural progression. You're walking through, and all right, let me go through this door because this door's locked. This door's locked. All right, let me go through this door. Then you go through it, close the door, and you're like, oh wait, I'm literally exactly back at the beginning of the house. But I went. How does this work? And then all of a sudden it just keeps happening. You're just and then every now and then something will change. And it's
you hear things too. The sound is really good. in that game.
you never
I know.
know what to expect. Every time you walk through, it's
what's
I
gonna
don't know what
happen?
the fuck's
Yeah.
going to happen here. The lights could be off this time, or I don't this
Yeah.
is weird.
Oh, it's terrifying.
It's creepy. But imagine if Konami didn't
Cancel that
fuck
game.
that
Yeah.
up,
Oh man.
and they made a full Silent Hill game like that. Because the creepy bosses and enemies in Silent Hill
Are great.
in some
The nurses are
with some
iconic.
shit. Can you imagine the nurses
Yeah.
in that graphics engine?
Oh, I
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what is that? The Fox engine?
I don't
Were they
know if
using the
did.
Fox engine for that? Because that's what Metal Gear uses.
I think that's
and
what officially Konami uses.
Yeah.
They were going to use it for
Because that's what I was
everything.
saying. I was like,
Yeah.
because the Fox engine is pretty, and that looked like
That-
it might
that
have
looked
been
amped
Fox,
up.
but that was that might have been
Yeah.
high, super.
Because it's such a small level.
They could really tweak the details, but a whole Silent Hill game like that.
I would love to see another
But
Silent
that's
Hill game.
you guys probably haven't seen. I don't know if you've seen the playthroughs or everything of Allison Road, which is
I saw it when they first.
it's kind of a Kickstarter game where they're talking about it's kind of the spiritual successor to PT since it got, Silent Hills got canceled. And so like there's a lot of little nods and everything to PT in it. But it's another one of those where it's set up in a house, that photorealism. It's a lot like PT. It's in Kickstarter right now, but like that one's fucking creepy too. Where it's like it's they literally made it, to like it's the same type of horror as that.
Just to scare you.
But that one's creepy as shit too. I don't know if it's like if you can buy it, because I guess they haven't released like a demo. I don't know if they've released.
It got kickstarted, so he hasn't released it yet. But it got.
But whenever keep the Allison Road. Keep an eye out for that one, because that's going to be a lot. Like if you liked PT, or if you still can play PT, if you have it on your PlayStation, or if you know somebody that has it, because you can't download it anymore.
You should go play it.
Play that, and then keep an eye out for Allison Road, because that looks.
They still have the Kickstarter up, right?
Huh?
It's still
up.
Kickstarter's up.
I'll link that in the description below, so you guys can check that out.
It's like, because if you want to watch some videos on that, and that would, because it looks pretty sweet too. But Silent Hill.
And Silent Hill in general, the series.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta check that game, dude. That's like
Silent Hill 2 is my favorite one still.
Silent Hill.
They like invented.
Do you guys ever play the Silent Hill Shattered Memories on the Wii?
I never played. I never played too much
that
of
one,
it.
That
I
one was
remember
cool.
it.
It came out on PS3 a long time after that came out on the Wii. Where it was
Did it
kind
come
of
out
like
on PS3?
After, they remastered it for it because nobody bought anything.
Nobody bought it on the Wii.
That game was kind of like Until Dawn, where you would sit down and like it'd ask you questions, and based on how you answered them, it affected the game, affected the enemies that appeared.
Oh wow!
So like it had you like draw a house, and you can use whatever color you wanted, and then once you drew the house, you would later see a house with the same colors that you colored it in.
Wow!
So they did really cool things like that. They also kind of took things from Fatal Frame, where you had a camera on your cell phone that you use like the Wii remote with, and you could see ghosts. You like first hear creepy shit, and if you do, you see it, and you can see their deaths and stuff. So there's some cool Silent Hill games out there. I haven't played it recently, like a good one, in a while. Like PT was the last one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I got everyone excited, but 2 definitely play that. The movies are also good. You haven't seen the movies?
They do have some good
movies.
Alright.
Movies aren't terrible for Silent Hill.
No, they're not terrible.
A lot of movies. I mean, like a lot of.
They did a good Pyramid Head.
Yeah,
Pyramid
seriously.
Head.
Pyramid Head was sick.
Pyramid Head's one of like the creepiest. Like
I love seeing cosplay.
video game boss. Yeah,
I've seen quite a few
he's
of
definitely
those.
he's definitely a good cosplay costume.
I love it because I have seen so many people that are just like, they're dudes. They're like 6'5" and they do Pyramid Head. I'm just like,
Oh, it's perfect.
I should do.
So
I should do
good.
that.
Black
do
Pyramid
a
Head.
Black Pyramid.
I'm like 6'3". I could do
could-
black.
you could
I
pull
could
it
do
off.
black and mid head.
Black and Midhead.
I don't think I'd want to walk around with that thing.
You just drag a sword around.
I'll do that.
I remember in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, I downloaded a mod to have Pyramid Head, and I made this.
On your
Did
roller
it kill
coaster.
all the people?
Oh no, I made dude. I got
That
like,
would be dope.
it was one of those games I got so into because I built things like technical,
Roller
like real
Coaster
life.
Tycoon.
Yeah, like I download all the mods and make supports look like they're real life and make everything like 100% real. Like they could build this. I made this like horror coaster. I went through this like haunted mansion at first, almost like Disneyland, like when you're going through the Tower of Terror at first. Doesn't it take you through a bunch of like horror like scenery and stuff?
Yeah, Twilight Zone stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had Pyramid Head like at one point, like where he's just like standing above you. And I, like in the point of view, I remember watching. I was like, "This is sick."
That's tight. Yeah.
So in the next 5 to 6 years, expect the GXP amusement park that
We're working
Mark
on it.
will be building.
Mark is our technician.
We're gonna have a Patreon page you guys can all support.
It could be for
We're
tech.
gonna need $20 billion.
It'll be for tech decks. We'll build it out of Hot Wheel tracks.
You can ride with your fingers.
Oh my god.
We'll attach a GoPro.
They'll be that small by then. You can put them on your fingers and get the point of view.
They can't. That new GoPro's pretty small.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Oh,
like
the little
Yeah, that thing's
How
small.
big is it?
It's like a square. It's like that big.
It's pretty. It's little.
Yeah, I mean that's all the games, right? That we went over.
Yeah.
That we recommend.
Should I run through them real fast?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
go
you can
over
run
them one
through
more
them.
time. Yeah.
All right, and then I'll throw those extra ones in at the end. Halloween must plays. We have OutLast, Bioshock, Soma, Until Dawn, Fatal Frame, F.E.A.R, The Last of Us, BloodBorne, Alien Isolation, Silent Hill, Dead Space.
You gotta go sign language.
Sign language.
11.
What is
12,
it? Dead Space, Half-Life.
13.
Did we have a 13th?
No, I think we
Did
had
we-
12.
Did we go off on a tangent about anything else?
We could add a 13th if you want to make it.
Resident Evil.
Friday.
Resident
Resident Evil's a great game that we
It
didn't
is.
bring up.
There's 13.
I'm a
Boy,
huge fan of that series too, Resident Evil.
Yeah,
I remember that that was like the first horror game I ever played.
me too.
Resident Evil 2. Yeah, I was like...
Luigi's Mansion.
It,
There it is. That's mine.
I was like 8 years old. My older cousin had a PlayStation and he had Resident Evil 2. He came over. I watched him play it and I helped him out with the puzzles because that game had impossible puzzles, and it scared the shit out of me. Like,
Oh yeah, no, same thing. We were talking about this not too long ago about a Resident Evil experience, but I was in second grade, I think, and my buddy had a PlayStation. I don't even know how he had this. Like, he was in second grade. He was a religious family. Somebody in this, maybe his dad or something, had it, but
He stole it.
yeah, we put it in. I remember playing that, and we literally screamed because, like, the point of view, you'd go to grab a door, and like it would zoom into the door
yeah,
view.
it's slow and it creaks.
Yeah, there was one
Love
time
that.
where I went to the door and the freaking zombies just bursted out, and I was like, ah! Like, we all ran to the next room. We almost were in tears, man. It was so scary as a little kid.
That's that old school style of horror where it was like when the technology wasn't quite there. It's like
Yeah, 'cause
when
that's
they
them
control
loading.
the cam. Exactly.
Oh, it was so
It's
great.
like when they control the cameras, like they can do a lot with that. Did you ever play Clock Tower?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The serial killer chasing you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had a lot of those fixed angle games.
Yeah.
Back then on the original.
And those are
PlayStation.
cool because, like, you know, it's kind of dated now, but that I do like those horror games. Like, yeah, the first Resident Evil and the first. I mean, that's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
was
you could buy
fucking
Resident
scary.
Evil HD on next gen platforms.
And
now.
what's cool about that one too is you
And
can
it's-
switch between the old school cameras or the
Well, it's not the cameras. The cameras are the same. It's the controls. So you either have
Or
the old school
controls,
tank
yeah.
controls or the Resident Evil 4 style.
those
where you
damn
move.
tank controls, man.
The gunplay?
Those damn tank
I
controls.
was a fan of the tank controls. But,
I was
you know,
never a
other
fan.
people-
I mean, it added to it, especially
It
like in the
did.
first
Oh,
ones,
absolutely.
because it was like
'Cause you're in this
you couldn't
small
move.
room
Like, it was like,
and-
all right, if I want to shoot, I need
Yeah.
to run away 10 steps, turn around, and pivot.
Yeah, and I need to be accurate, too. Make all your ammo count.
yeah.
Shit, I can't shoot.
Shooters
And the-
way back when. Those were great.
Resident Evil's great, though.
The great thing about what I liked about the Resident Evil remake is that you had to first you had the ribbon, so you had limited saves. You had to put in the typewriter and you type it in, and then you had in the remake you had the zombies you needed to burn. And if you didn't burn them, they'd come back.
Come back, yeah.
As an even more powerful zombie, and like those could go through the doors and chase you, and they're faster and they run and they take more hits and they're just gross looking, and so it made it terrifying. Like if we had this little lighter, and if you ran out of the lighter fluid, you couldn't burn them. There's no way, so you just have to either avoid like certain areas of the house until you like needed to get there, but once you do, they will chase you until you take them
That's
down.
great.
I would have just gotten like 2 rocks, stood over them. God damn it, zombie!
Should have watched Man vs. Wild.
Flint and steel.
And then 4 brought the chainsaw.
Dude, that was the game.
Dude, yeah.
That was that, like,
Potato head, potato
Yeah.
sack
Oh,
guy.
God.
first Resident Evil I ever beat was Resident Evil 4, and
Mine was 1 or 0.
it was amazing. It was
I-
so good.
the-
you ever play
I-
Resident Evil 4?
Not for.
Oh.
4
You
changes
gotta
it
play
up.
it. It does change it. It's not as...
It plays completely different from Resident
Yeah.
Evil game. They had the running
Yeah.
zombies, and then like it's more like
4 was-
strategically putting up defenses between you and other people, because like
Yeah.
you'd have to like hole yourself up in a house. You could like shut the doors and put like a
You can
bookcase in front
barricade
of
things,
it.
yeah.
And then there'd be a guy with a fucking chainsaw just chasing you.
Yeah.
You'd hear like I
hated that.
revving it, and then like once he like tries to get through the barricades, you can like just cut through the door and through the bookcase, and
You remember the first...
then when you die, it's
Yeah, you remember?
Insane.
Oh, it's brutal, dude.
Brutal.
That has brutal deaths too. But you remember the first scene where you get the chainsaw in Resident Evil 4? You're in the first village, like,
yeah.
and all of a sudden you just like see the villagers come out. Like I think like
You shoot a bunch of them at first,
Yeah.
and then
all of a sudden you just hear vroom,
Yeah.
vroom, like, and it like kind of cuts to like
And you're
this
like,
guy,
nope,
like, oh,
nope,
shit.
nope.
Whole lot of nope.
Yeah, I was in 6th grade when that came out.
Really?
6th grade, that game that scared the shit out of me in 6th grade. Like hearing that, I was
he
like,
was terrifying.
yeah, you died. I did a lot.
Chainsaws are one of those that just bring out this like internal fear
Yeah.
It's just that
in
sound.
any
It's
yeah. It's like
everywhere.
and the funny thing is like a chainsaw like honestly isn't like in a real situation, I mean, like it's not the best
You
weapon.
could use it, right?
I mean, you could use it, but I mean, it's one of those things. It's like
very short range.
there are a
not
lot of
very
weapons
mobile.
I would.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weapons I would pick before I pick a chainsaw, but it's one of the like in scary situations. It's like it's just so iconic, like Doom.
Oh, yeah.
You
It has
know,
some
like
sound
Evil
aspect
Dead,
to it.
man.
Evil Dead, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
What? Just Resident Evil though, like one of the most memorable monsters like of all time for me is I forgot what his name is. But like he's in the first movie too. That weird creature with the super long fucking tongue.
Yeah, they're called
What are they?
lickers.
Lickers. That's right.
Lickers. They are introduced in Resident Evil 2.
Oh my god.
They were when they first introduced that in Resident
Those
Evil
fucking
2.
guys.
You're in a police station and you walk into like this interrogation room, and like you first when you're walking down the hallway to the interrogation room, you see something like crawling on the window. Then you get in the interrogation room and like you hear like this clicking. And then he bursts through the one-sided mirror.
Yeah.
And so you don't know that he's watching you, and as you're trying to leave, he bursts out, and you have to. They're intense. They kill you.
Those
really
like
good.
just their appearance. I remember the first time I saw him like in that part, I was just like,
Yeah,
that just stuck with me. And
you
then
can see their brains too.
And
Can't you?
then when I saw him like in the first Resident Evil movie,
Yeah, I was so
because
happy.
like when they were getting on the subway and he's chasing him down, I'm like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
Yeah,
Resident Evil and Silent Hill both have really good like
Resident Evil had a pretty good movie.
They had a couple
The
good
first
ones.
one. You know they're still making Resident
the
Evil?
first couple
Wait,
were
still?
were
We're decent.
Oh yeah,
like I think maybe like the first 3 I enjoyed, and then they just started
I think
getting
got insane.
ridiculous, like stupid. Resident Evil 4D. I'm like,
Yeah, they're making a 5th one.
Shot with the same camera.
They just had some news-
Camera news for
Was it
Avatar.
Resident Evil 6? The logo still looks like
Oh, it looks like
it's like a giraffe.
a giraffe
giving
getting
a guy a head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's when they stopped making Resident Evil games.
That game,
Ah.
Resident Evil has become more of an.
I work at a zoo.
action
I've seen that
franchise
before.
now.
It's fine.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I think once I went to a GameStop and someone that worked there had printed out, like, someone actually drew out a giraffe giving
Oh, yeah,
someone a
see
head.
that. You can see that meme
Stuck it
online,
on
yeah.
the game. No, like the game on the shelf, because they do that at GameStop. I love it.
With the used game, like here you go.
Yep. It looks.
I'm just
exactly
gonna
like
leave
that.
this here.
Someone comes and returns it. This is not what I was expecting.
It's like I bought this for my child. What is this? It's like this wasn't even in the game. What the fuck?
There's no giraffes.
I bought it for the porn.
I bought it for the porn. I stayed for the
I bought it for the
gameplay.
bestiality.
It's like
I'm a big fan of giraffes.
it's like I bought it for the giraffe blowjobs. I stayed for the zombies.
They have blue fucking tongues.
I love giraffes.
They do.
2-foot fucking tongues.
Here's your animal fact, guys. By the way, if you want to follow me on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, I do animal facts every day. But giraffes' tongues are blue because it's a form of sunscreen because their tongues are so long. So to prevent their tongues from getting sunburned when they're eating leaves out in the African savannah, they have dark tongues just to prevent them from getting sunburned because they're always out of their mouth.
No way.
That's why giraffe tongues are like bluish black. Here's your animal fact of the day, guys.
I
a
learned
bonus.
something. All right.
The more
Well,
you know.
The more you know. You got 13 fun horror games to try out before the end of October. You can play them later too.
And you
but
learned a little something.
they're really, it's just so festive right now. You should try them now. You also got some cool giraffe facts. Maverick, everybody.
Give me, you know what? Throw it in the comments. Any animal you want me to answer questions on, give me some good animal questions. I will try to answer them for you.
Why are
I will start.
tapir's penises so weird?
Why are tapir's
I-
penis
Tapir's
so
penis-
weird?
Tapir sex is the weirdest sex you'll ever see. Look it up on YouTube.
Can't say I've seen that.
weird
You know
stuff.
what? You might as I will get you an answer on
They
our
have the
next
creepiest
podcast.
jointed penises or something.
You know,
It's so
koalas
weird.
have two.
Why the fuck do we even know this?
Koalas have two penises.
Animal facts.
This is going so off topic.
do a sign off there, Mark.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. This is episode 5 of the GXP podcast. If you guys like this, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And, of course, leave the comments below. Let us know if you guys have played these games. What are your opinions? What do you think? We love them. We love you. And thanks for watching.
We're so sorry it was so dirty this week.
Oh, we're foul, but that's part of
I
who
We
know.
the
started
GXP
with
crew
penis
is.
and we ended with penis.
There it
That's how
is.
I like it.
That's how every episode is going to be.
That's the stamp
Yes.
on the end right there.
All right.
Have a good night.
See you guys.
America.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.